Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you're working in governance, risk, and compliance, the role you have is like going through a change, right? Not in like 5 years or 10 years, but right now. And GRC analysts are not being replaced by AI because I don't believe that at all. But they are being replaced by people who can build or engineer controls. And I see a lot of GRC professionals, analysts especially, doing the same thing, writing policies, chasing evidence, preparing for audits. But the market is moving away from documentation. It's moving towards people who can enforce compliance automatically. And this is where GRC engineers come in. A lot of people, I've made videos about this before, and a lot of people reach out to me and they say, I haven't seen any job for GRC engineering. Well, I mean, first of all, I want you to understand GRC engineering is just like a mindset, right? It doesn't matter if you haven't seen a job title called GRC engineering. There is a shift happening in how governance, risk, and compliance is working, and why you need to change from being an analyst to an engineer. You have to think away from documentation. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down what's actually changing, why most GRC professionals are falling behind, and what you can do to move from an analyst to an engineer. So if you're new to this video, my name is Tamarish Lal. I'm a senior security consultant with AWS, and I just made this channel to give advice on cybersecurity and help people get into cybersecurity. Do like and subscribe if you find this video useful. So let's move ahead. What I'm talking about. This is basically what the whole theme of this video is, right? How can I help you move from a GRC analyst to engineer? Why you should do that? Like, what's the point of making this video, and how you can change that mindset? Okay, so first of all, let's start with a little bit of history, right? What's the traditional GRC career path? For years, governance, risk, and compliance, it has been positioned as the entry point into cybersecurity. You know why? Because it's not, you don't need to know like a hardcore technical firewall configurations or something like that, right? You can start by policies and understanding frameworks, things like ISO, NIST. And honestly, it was a great entry point. I myself used to recommend to people that if you're coming from a non-technical background, get into GRC, and you can get a lot of experience, understand how everything is working, and then from there you can pivot or you can move up the ladder. Now, GRC roles are still in demand. Definitely. I mean, I'm not saying GRC is going away, but analyst roles, they are plateauing. Some companies simply are not interested that much in people who can write checklists or write documentation. And there are many, like reasons for that, right? Which I'll get into. But if your job is documenting controls, or chasing for sending follow-up emails for evidence, or preparing audit reports, you are in a vulnerable position as an analyst, because you're working in a place that can be automated, it can be outsourced, or partially or almost fully replaced by AI. And this is already happening. This is not theoretical. This is not something which I am just giving my subjective opinion or something like that. This is already happening. The impact AI is having is very much real, and we are seeing it. So why is the industry changing? Like, what are the key factors, right? Is it just AI? It's not just AI. It is a very important factor, but there are a number of reasons, right? First of all, cloud. The way cloud environments work, it has broken traditional GRC. More and more companies are moving towards like the cloud environments like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, as they adopt more and more AI. The AI and cloud are linked because AI needs so much processing power and storage. It's not feasible to do it on-prem. That's why more and more companies are moving towards the cloud. And in on-prem environments, you could do periodic compliance. You could audit a system once a year, feel safe. Manual compliance does not work in the cloud. You have thousands of changes happening to DevOps pipelines, IAM permissions, people doing X amount of things. You need a way to automate that policy enforcement. You need a way to have continuous monitoring of your compliance. I'm not talking about security, I'm talking about compliance. And you need a way to have real-time control validation. That requires an engineering mindset. It does not require an analyst who comes once a year and opens an Excel checklist and does it like that. You need to think like as an engineer. And the number two point, of course, AI. AI is accelerating the gap between an analyst and an engineer. Large parts of like your documentation, your reporting, your mapping, now AI can do, which means that companies are no longer looking for people who can just do documentation. They can feed that into an internal Gen AI engine and have those reports come out, right? But companies still very much need people who can design and enforce controls, around AI systems, around cloud AI systems. They want to make sure they are compliant with PCI DSS, NIST, SOC, whatever. But again, you need to have that ability to design those controls. That is not an analyst job. That's an engineering job. Your cloud engineering team, they will not know the intricacies of PCI DSS and ISO. They will need you to guide them. And you cannot guide them if you do not know how to design or build those controls, right? And of course, compliance is also becoming a product feature. So companies are now selling, compliant by design platforms. So, you've seen this, right? It's already secure by default. And that means GRC is moving closer and closer towards the product engineering, DevSecOps pipelines. You're sitting closer to revenue generation. And this is actually increasing your value. If you're able to show that you can contribute to product features, your value is increasing. So it's not just a bad thing. But so now that you've understood this, how do you move from a GRC analyst mindset to an engineering mindset? Well, what do you need to get started? What's the minimum skill set in tooling? And very, very important, there is no such thing as a right time. Please do not think that you're going to do some magic certification and be ready, become a GRC engineer. It just needs a mindset. Get started. You will encounter all sorts of issues. You will feel that, hey, I don't know what this is. You will feel there's, like a curve. Like initially you're very motivated, and then when you see like how much there is to learn, you feel demotivated and you feel you don't know anything, and then slowly you see your knowledge increasing. So please start. Do not worry about how much you know now. Do not worry about how old you are. If you're in your 50s or your 60s, it does not matter. It is just about the mindset. So, and what holds analysts back? A lot of time I've seen people, they have this anxiety attack that, hey, I've been doing documentation for 20 years. I don't know how to do software engineering. They think that you have to become like a software engineer. This is where the power of like things like AI comes in, right? You do not need to know coding to start developing controls, but it does require you to stop thinking like an analyst where you're just thinking about theory and concepts and move towards implementation. So how a GRC engineer thinks, instead of thinking how do I validate this control, you think about how can I enforce those identity and access management policies using cloud native controls. How do I make sure that ISO and NIST compliance remains permanent, right? It's not like somebody can just go ahead and violate those policies. How do I automate evidence collection instead of pinging the IT teams or chasing the cloud engineering team? How do I get a read-only ID and I can query this compliance status myself using like my read-only ID, using a script which I've run? I can generate those sort of things, right? All of these things. This is how a GRC engineer thinks. So this is, I've talked about this before, but this is what the old way of GRC was, that you had, maybe you got an email from an external auditor, you would email the system admin, they would go to the system, they would run some scripts, and they would send it back to you after you've chased them for like 5 times, send them multiple reminders. You would extract it into a PDF file or screenshots or script output that you would, put in Excel, and then you would email it back to the team, to the external auditor. And this would take, days. If your team is really good, days. Yeah, and typically it used to take weeks of follow up. I've done multiple audits of PCI, NIST, ISO. I know how these things work, right? And in a GRC engineering environment, well, first of all, you would not need to ping the system admin because you already have an ID. You can go to the default like dashboards which are already there, or you can run a script yourself using a read-only ID. It directly queries the live production environment, or maybe a non-prod mirror of the production environment, and you get the things that you need already formatted based on your script, and you can send it right away. It goes to minutes or even hours. This is how powerful GRC engineering is. So traditional GRC versus GRC engineering is, you move away from Excel spreadsheets to things like Terraform or Python. Instead of like, periodic compliance, it's almost immediate. Instead of Excel sheets or checklists, you're thinking about dashboards and real-time compliance posture monitoring. So what are the skills that you need to become a GRC engineer? Honestly speaking, it's three things. You need to, of course, know about governance frameworks such as ISO, PCI DSS. Without that, I mean, you wouldn't be in GRC, right? So you would have to have that. You would need to have knowledge about cloud platforms like Azure, AWS, GCP. You do not need to become like a hardcore expert in AWS or GCP or Azure, but enough to know, hey, what's an S3 bucket, what's an EC2 instance, how do I query Azure, Cloud Sentinel, those sort of things. And lastly, scripting and simple vibe coding using things like Cloud Code or Cursor or OpenAI. Like I said, you do not need to become a software engineer, just basic level of scripting. And this is where AI is a massive, massive game changer. Now, using the power of AI with tools like Kiro, Cloud Code, all of these things, you can have AI generated for you. You can have like a ready-made script, you can have that reviewed by a security team, and a lot of that dependency goes away. So imagine you can just tell the AI to build you a compliance dashboard that is tracking IMS configs, and slowly your skill will go up. You can start experimenting it today. Just download a vibe coding IDE such as Cloud Code, Amazon Kiro, Cursor, and build a simple application using AI code. See how it connects to cloud environment. You can set up a cloud sandbox yourself. You don't, like I said, you do not need to be a full-time engineer. You just need to know enough to get started. So how to start your journey, and this is unfortunately, like I've mentored a lot of people, and I've seen this is where people stall because change is uncomfortable. They say, hey, I've been doing this for the last 10, 20 years. I don't want to make a change. If you spend decades about in policies, managing audits, coordinating stakeholders, you feel that you are starting over and this is like a step backward. So most people don't do it. They like being in their comfort zone. It's like a mental thing, right? Your brain tells you to stay within your safe zone. It doesn't want you to be challenged or put in a dangerous position. But these changes are happening whether you like it or not. That's why I keep making these videos to make people understand how much the market is changing. So please do not get stuck in this trap. Start. Like, you don't need to quit your job or become a developer overnight, but start with this very basic shift in your thinking. Whenever you see a control, don't just document it. Think about how you can enforce it. Move from detective to preventative controls. Or like when you prepare audit evidence, don't just collect it. Ask how it could be automated. Or think about how you can build a compliance dashboard, how you can automate. Move away from just in time, a point in time auditing, and think about continuous monitoring. So this went on for longer than I thought about, but this is where the future of GRC is. Honestly, it's no longer about just memorizing standards or documentation. It's about implementation based on the speed at which environments are changing. So not enough documentation. Think more about automation, and instead of thinking like an analyst, think like an engineer. So this is the mindset, and just use these resources I've talked about. Most of these resources are free. You can set up a free AWS account and Azure account. You can download Cloud Cursor, get a free plan. None of these things will cost you anything. If you still need guidance, I have a course on GRC engineering. You can check that out. Yeah, I made it as a complimentary help to people who want to break into GRC engineering. But remember, GS engineering is a mindset. It's not like you have to do a certification or something like that, but start thinking like that. So I hope this was useful to you. Thank you very much. And I wish you all the best in your GRC engineering journey. Please do like and subscribe to this channel if you found it useful. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.